If you don't mind, have a second. So I was born this month, November baby, right? Scorpio child, and I'm kind of stereotypical. It's not that I really buy into the horoscope stuff too much, but there are some undeniable truths and stereotypes about, your sign that could be true for most, and it is for me. One, being a Scorpio, I can tend to be a jealous person, but I acknowledge it and I try not to be. Yeah, so Friday night, I went to a party. It was an awesome party. My brother-in-law threw it. It was at, El Charro and, like open bar.
Oh.
Yeah, like 400 or 500 people, it was all decked out in Halloween gear. And it was a blast. And I'm dressed up, like a taco, like I was saying before. And Rico and Powers was there and, I had friends. So we're hanging out, we're partying, we're having a good time. But something shady happened. And it kind of, it led to me having a little instance. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm at this party, right? And I'm hanging out with Rico and Powers. And I notice I haven't seen my girlfriend for a while, which is fine. Like she got friends there and her sister and everything. So she's hanging out. I'm hanging out. We're having a good time. But as the time continues to go by, I'm like more and more. I'm like, I just don't kind of see her even walking around. Like, where is she? So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, what's going on? So that's the first. Now it's a seed. Now I know that I have a great relationship and I know that I should have nothing to worry about. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, who's she making out with? Right. Which is an absurd thought.
Absurd.
Now, if I rewind back, the last time I told you about one of my jealousy stories, there was a time that we went out for a birthday party and there was a guy there named Ian. It turned out to be a good guy and she hasn't seen him in a long time. He was a family friend. But when she saw him, she was all rubbing on his face and everything. And it took like 4 instances to make me finally lose my cool. Right. So he was there at the party that night and he's nice and not necessarily a threat. But again, I'm just like, I do have that little history with that guy.
Yes.
And so I'm walking around. I'm like, okay, let's do a walk around. I want to try to see at least where she's at. So I just know for peace of mind.
Okay.
So we walk around. I don't see her anywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I go into the little VIP room that there is. And she's in there in the VIP room and her sister and the other girls are hanging out there. But 2 guys are there, right? Okay. So she's next to this Ian guy.
Ooh,
right?
Again.
But Ian's sitting down. So yeah, initially that was my diversion, right? I'm like, oh, it's the Ian guy. But at the same time, I'm like, everything's cool. Not a big deal. There's he's sitting down, she's standing up, but there's a guy standing next to her.
Oh.
And he's like leaning in on her.
Oh.
A little bit, yeah. And so I forget who this guy is. But turns out this guy I met before as well. This guy banged my girlfriend before.
No.
Yes, this guy has a history.
No.
Yes, and when I met him before, I met him at a bar, and he was over the top nice. He's like, hey, man, hey, congratulations. You got a really good girl and everything.
Oh.
My girlfriend's pregnant right now. So he was, pregnant girlfriend at the time when I met him the first time. But again, super over the top, super insincere, super sketchy.
Overcompensating.
Yes. Right? And I'm an overthinker, but I'm playing cool. I'm like, okay. So I go in, I see this guy standing next to him. Now, initially, I don't even recognize him. But then they quickly remind me that we have met before. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. You're the guy. Oh, you have a history. Then he starts telling me that the girl that he got pregnant dumped his ass.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He's
and
single.
She's actually at the party with another guy. So he is upset.
Oh, no.
And he's trying to rebound.
No.
Right. So again, this is being fed to me in my head. And I'm still in my head. Listen, I know, right? This seems weird. And they were like shoulder to shoulder, right? He was a little too close and cozy with it.
Okay.
But I'm in the back of my head. And again, I'm like, play it cool. It's cool. It's probably not what it looks like. So he BS's with me for a couple seconds, like, cool, whatever. I start talking to my girlfriend again. He takes some pictures. She goes in her phone and she's scrolling through some of the pictures she took. And then I know she took 4 selfies with this son of a bitch.
Oh, no.
4 selfies with this guy.
No.
Then I'm like, all right, I need to go grab a drink. And she's like, no, wait. And I'm like, no, just let go of my arm. I'm going to grab a drink. And I'm like, I'm there. So I storm out of that room.
Ooh.
Yeah, because now I'm like, that's too much, right?
4
effing selfies? Are you out of your mind with a guy that you had relations with?
Very close relationship.
Right. You've been missing for like 45 minutes. And you've been with this guy taking selfies, and it's like fish lip selfies
Oh,
and stuff.
no.
Yeah, like not cool. And you know what's crazy is that I got a picture sent to me from like me and her brother that she took. And when I click on those pictures with these camera phones, you can see like 5 seconds before
Okay.
the picture's taken, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I was like, why don't I see those? So why don't you send me those? She's like, that was the next day. She's like, I deleted them. I'm like, oh yeah, you should. You should delete them. But my question to you, 600 KFMA, and was I wrong? Again, I tried to be so cool, so cool. But 4 selfies with this son of a bitch.
And
I'm
like close proximity, like right next to each other.
oh yeah. It was like at this point we didn't take selfies together.
Yeah.
We didn't take any loving selfies that night.
Right.
Shit, this guy got my loving selfies from my girlfriend. Now I went in the back, and I'm venting with Rico, just trying to keep my cool. But like, I'm a guest at this party. I don't want to cause a scene. Do I punch this guy? I don't know. I'm trying not to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
But my instinct is to be that guy. And Rico's recently had his heart broken.
Oh,
He's not the guy to talk to. He's like,
no.
yeah, let's go kick his ass. I'm like, wait, okay. So
Rico would.
yeah, let me kill the phones. Rockwell 2.1, who's this?
This is Dominic.
Hey, Dominic, what do you think? Was I out of line in this scenario?
Oh, heck no. I think you were directly in line. The woman taking pictures with an old ex?
Right. Selfies? 4 selfies? Like what? The first one wasn't good enough? The second one wasn't good enough? The third one wasn't good enough? Are you out of your mind? How many selfies which one doesn't look good enough? Did it look platonic enough? No. Like honestly, it still drives me crazy. Now we have since made up.
Yes.
But that night, I mean, honestly, that threw a wrench in my night. I was having a great time. And then for about 2 hours within that party, I did not have a great time because I'm like, man, I'm in my early 40s, but I'm about to go ham and 19 on this kid. Honestly. Right? I appreciate the call, brother, and the support. Thank you. Let me answer this other line. Rock 102.1, who's this?
Good morning, buddy. It's Nick.
Nick. All right. Was I out of line in this scenario or what?
Oh, heck no, buddy. All right. And the reason being, I would have walked in there, seen him, punched him in the mouth, and would have grabbed her, walked her to the door, said either me or bloody mouth.
I don't know if that would have worked out for me in that scenario, Nick. And that's a little caveman, a little too caveman, especially since I didn't necessarily recognize the dude right at first. It took me, because I'm slow, it took me a couple minutes to put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, then we'll reroute it. Then you go in. Well, all right, you walk in, you give him a wedgie, you tell him, that's my girl.
A
Next
wedgie.
one's going to be a little bit worse. And then you tell him to walk away.
These are 2 opposite extreme examples, and I would definitely like to meet in the middle. I appreciate the call, Nick.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
Yeah. The moral of my story is, though, we ended up having a decent night, and I did not fight this dude. And he realized, I hope he realized he effed up. I don't know. Either way, he disappeared. I didn't see him again. And then luckily I had Powers there. Powers came in. He had a cape on, but he came in like Captain C Block. And while I was grabbing a drink with Rico, blowing off some steam, he was there to protect my girlfriend.
Yes.
I got a crew. The fact is, I did not feel good about the situation at all, though. And
I'm proud of you, though.
Are you?
I am.
All right. Was
You
it
held
too
it together.
Scorpio of me?
No,
To be
because you
jealous?
contained yourself. You could have gotten real crazy and you didn't. So
It was super sketch, right?
It's triggering for
Yeah.
sure. It was
That's what I
triggering.
tried to explain. I'm like, hey, if you don't make me go crazy, I won't go crazy.
Yeah.
You made me, baby. Let's hit the reset. We got more Beef Vegan Presents coming up next. Stick around.